Hey everybody, I'm Sarah from Everyday Fitness Sarah, and welcome to this Thursday's Facebook Live. I'm going to talk a little bit about failures. Um, specifically fitness failures. Don't mind I'm just noticing my frizziness there, so that's lovely. But anyway, um, I've been talking a lot this week about um, you know, that it's okay to not always succeed, and it's a good thing when you learn from it. Let's see. I have not always been at my ideal weight or size. I was a little heavy in high school. And I mean, I was kind of an athlete. I played sports and stuff, but I didn't exercise and I snacked a lot. I would get home from school and I would have a bag of microwave popcorn, and then we would have dinner an hour later. And then before bed, I would have a big bowl of ice cream. And for a while, I would literally use a spoon and go into the ice cream um, container and just eat it without a bowl. So who knows how much ice cream I actually ate. So I didn't have a great relationship with food. In high school, I lost a lot of weight my freshman year, and it was not from trying, but I didn't like the food, one, and two, we didn't go up for seconds. I mean, we had the meal plan, so you got what you got, and then we just didn't go back. We didn't have food in our dorms, so my freshman year, I wound up losing like 15 pounds, and I felt good. And I maintained that weight. And then when my husband and I were engaged, I wanted to lose weight for the wedding. This is the fail that I really wanted to talk about. So I wanted to lose weight before the wedding. I fit in my wedding dress fine. I just, wanted to feel good and pretty and stuff. So I decided I was going to eat healthier. And healthier to me was a peanut butter sandwich instead of a slice of pizza, which doesn't make a lot of sense because they're probably pretty darn close in calories. We got married in the winter, so I wasn't like going out and walking or anything like that. I wasn't exercising. I was just having a sandwich instead of whatever, and maybe trying to eat, make healthier swaps. But I don't think I wound up losing any weight probably, and that's because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. It just, I tried so many things. I always wanted to try the easy way out to lose weight. I was always obsessed. So, I would read about, like more of a European style eating, of having a big lunch instead of a big dinner. So I would cook something for dinner, but then I wouldn't let my husband and I eat it. I would pack it up for leftovers to bring for lunches at work. And then for dinner, we would still have a sandwich. Like, seriously, how did I not learn that sandwiches still are, I mean, they can be, but a lot of sandwiches get piled high with pretty high calorie stuff. So you might think you're eating light, but you're not. Oh my gosh, the apple cider vinegar. Have you guys tried that or heard about that? Like, if you drink 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar a day, it's supposed to help with weight loss. You know what it also does? It ruins your teeth. I did not try that, but I remember being like, oh, I should try that. That sounds like a great easy way to lose weight. But then, yeah, afterward you find out it really eats away the enamel on your teeth. So I'm glad I didn't do that. So I know we've all heard about, there's so much misinformation out there about how to lose weight easy, like keto gummies and keto diet in general, which works really well in the short term, but it's not sustainable for the most part. And that's one of those things that I've talked about in the past. It's an all or nothing type of thing. So if you're cutting out this huge food group of carbohydrates, which, I mean, your brain needs carbs, so it's not the best way to go about it. It's not the healthiest. It's not the most unhealthy, but I mean, there's issues with lack of vitamins and mineral intake, so you need to have a lot of supplements to make up for that, and it's not for me. I've tried the all or nothing. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable for most of us, because if you're cutting out or making these huge changes, the minute you slip up, a lot of our headspace is like, well, that's it. Guess I'll just eat this whole pizza because I had one slice. I might as well just eat this whole pizza. Or I ate too much on a Saturday, so I'll start my diet again on a Monday. As you can tell, this is one of my soapboxes. I don't believe in giving up an entire group of food. I don't believe in making huge changes right away. A lot of them, especially. It's just never sustainable. So my success came after both of my kids were born, and I realized I still looked 5 months pregnant when my son was 2. And I started making those slow, small changes and really paying attention and being more mindful of what I was doing and what I was eating. And, I've been sitting for a while. Maybe I should get up, and squeezing movement into my day. And I had gotten in the habit of finishing my kids' food because I was taught to clear your plate. And I never, ever, ever have enforced that with my kids. But, there would be a chicken nugget left, and I would think, no, don't want to let it go to waste. So I'd eat the chicken nugget. Or they stopped eating goldfish for a snack. So all of a sudden I have a bunch of goldfish crackers, and I don't want those to go to waste. So I'll just sneak in, and I'm bored. I'll have a couple handfuls of goldfish. So it's a lot of habit breaking, and it's very mental. Losing weight, fat loss, getting in shape, toning up, firming up, however you want to call it. It's very mental. It's not just a physical thing. It's not just I'm going to eat less. It's not just I'm going to eat more protein. It's not just I'm going to exercise. It's a mental game. So there's my soapbox. But let me talk about a little bit of some of the things that you guys have mentioned. So Jessica mentioned that she struggles at like family gatherings and picnics and barbecues and stuff because of the food. There's always so much food. And she and I are cousins, so we've been to many of those. And that side of the family doesn't let anybody go hungry. So that is tough. Holidays, it's summer now, but barbecues over the summer, and fall and winter holidays are coming up. And so how do you manage that? How do you say no, especially when there's most likely people saying, oh, that's all you're gonna eat? Have this. Did you try this? And then you feel guilty if you don't, or maybe that's just a me thing. So there's a couple ways. One, stay away. Don't hang out by the food. Hang out and chat with people by the volleyball net and play volleyball, or, if there's, play catch or whatever. If there's an activity you can do to stay moving, that always helps. Because when you're staying still and, that stuff, or you're just sitting around, then, it's just easier to grab a couple chips here or whatever. Another thing is, if you can plan ahead. Maybe it's a lunchtime barbecue, so you have a very, very, very light breakfast, and you plan to not have much for dinner. That's okay. You can do that every once in a while. It's kind of a form of intermittent fasting, which works for a lot of people, but unfortunately, especially in women, the older we get, the less it works. It's a hormone thing. So typically women over 40, intermittent fasting doesn't work. I also tried that, by the way. I also tried that for a while, but it's challenging when you have kids, because, they probably want to eat breakfast, and they probably want their mom to eat with them, and maybe they want to have dinner with their parents too, and just sitting around having a cup of coffee while they're eating breakfast gets old. So anyway, so plan ahead, and If you can't do that, try your best to get a workout in, a quick one before or after, to at least make up for some of that. But also remember, one day, as long as it's not every day, as long as it's even not a weekly thing. I mean, you can have a cheat day here and there, but if you're on a weight loss journey, you want to make sure you are following your guidelines, if you will, 80% of the time. So yes, you can have a cheat day, you can have a cheat meal, you can have a glass of wine, but it can't be an always thing. And then I think it was Heather that mentioned feeling like a failure sometimes when the weight comes back on. And that is frustrating, and it's a nasty cycle sometimes, because losing weight sometimes is the easier part, because there's a really strict, okay, well, I'm only going to eat this many calories, I'm going to exercise these many times a week, and so there's that, okay, this is what I can do. And you once you get the habits down, and you're doing that which you know works, great. And then you get to your goal weight, and then there's a transition that is very challenging to make, and it's very easy to slip back, because you don't want to be in a calorie deficit all the time. It's not healthy. It puts your body in starvation mode, where it holds on more. So you have to transition to a maintenance diet and exercise program, which sometimes you really do need somebody to help you with, because first of all, there's a mental thing. I know when I hit my goal weight, I wanted to keep losing. When my kids were younger, I wanted to keep losing. And I remember thinking, oh, it's just 2 more pounds, just 2 more pounds. And then my body is like, Sarah, no, your body's not supposed to be this light. So it was very challenging to not see the scale go down, even though I was still trying to force it. But if I had gone down anymore, I would have been in an unhealthy weight. So that took self-coaching, because I didn't have a trainer at the time. I was training myself. It's a lot of self-coaching to change my mindset, to change my intake. It's very, I don't know, all of you moms, I know when I was pregnant, it was very challenging to see the numbers on the scale go up. And I had to wrap my head around that a lot. And I was actually exercising consistently for the first time in my life when I was pregnant with my first child, because I was so afraid of seeing the numbers on the scale go up. And I knew that I didn't necessarily need to gain a ton of weight. I wasn't heavy, but it wasn't like I was underweight and needed to gain a bunch of weight to sustain the pregnancy. So it's the same kind of thing when you've met your goal weight and you need to change your mentality to losing, to not losing. And it's hard to be happy to not see the numbers on the scale go down. It's hard to be happy to see them stay. So there's a big mental switch that needs to be flipped. So those are, I talked about my failures. I tried a lot of crazy diets, lose weight quick. That's awesome, right? That sounds great. That's why they make so much money, but it's not sustainable. And then, at some point you realize that living on the treadmill is not going to get you where you want to be either. It's going to get you to lose weight, but it's not going to get you to stay at that weight. That's another problem sometimes with the transition from losing weight to maintaining. Cardio burns fat, burns calories when you're exercising. It doesn't necessarily keep that calorie burn going throughout the day, unlike strength training. The more lean muscle your body has, the more fat it burns at rest. So you don't need to necessarily work out as long or as hard, as long as your nutrition is where it needs to be. I'm at the point of my fitness journey that I just really like getting strong. So I'm working on getting as strong as possible right now because I met my goal weight. But like I said, it was hard. It was a hard transition from losing weight to maintaining. And it took me a lot of mental gymnastics. It took some conversations with my primary doctor to, when she was like, Sarah, you don't need to lose any more weight. I'm like, yeah, but I want to. And she's like, but you don't need to. So I see we have a few of you. If any of you have anything else you would like to talk about, I would be happy to answer any other questions. But I think one thing that I have learned through my fitness journey and through, the ups and downs of my weight, through my weightlifting and exercise routines that I do now, is the importance of learning from your failures. Hi, Amy. Learning from a fail. You set a goal for it and, you're trying to lose a pound this week and you don't, and it sucks. And you're like, oh man, this really sucks. Well, this isn't working. I'm just gonna, whatever. Never mind. I'm not doing it anymore. That's the problem with some of the mindsets of the all or nothing. So if you're learning from your failures and you're changing your tactics, or maybe it's just positive self-talk, hormone changes, sometimes we're retaining weight. If you haven't gone number 2 in a few days, then, it's all reasons why you might not be losing the weight you want to. But I'm posting a blog post tomorrow that I wrote because I have been struggling with achieving a couple of lifts that I've been working towards. And I realized when I was going for a 105-pound clean, I think, and I didn't get it, and I laughed about it. And that was like really awesome because I don't like failing, but that's what fitness has taught me, is that it's okay to fail because you can figure out what went wrong and you can just keep working on it. And, it's the same way with anything in life. I mean, heck, I started a small business 9 months ago, and that is not something I ever would have done had I not gained confidence in myself through fitness. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. So for me, that's been my journey. I've rambled a lot, and I'm so stoked to see all of you on here and watching. So apple cider vinegar, do not use it to try to lose fat because it will ruin your teeth enamel. Keto diet isn't great because it causes a lot of vitamin and mineral deficiencies, and it's not super sustainable. Peanut butter sandwiches are not necessarily more healthy than pizza. And plan ahead if you're going to be at some sort of gathering where there's going to be a lot of food, and self-control is something you're still working on. Make that your meal of the day, exercise before and after, stay away from the food table, try not to drink your calories. So I hope you have all gotten a little something out of this, and thanks for watching, and I will pin it to the group so you can enjoy my ramblings whenever you choose to. Thanks, everybody. Bye.